to take the opportunity to respond to the good news from the Labor Party. I was intrigued when I read the report back from Select Committee after many weeks of consideration and hours of work in the committee to read the report that came back that we're debating now. And indeed, that report back from the committee is 4 considered pages long, 4 considered pages of wisdom there. And then at the very end, we have the last statement called the New Zealand Labor Minority View, the Labor Party Minority View, which they put a tremendous amount of work into, and I think it's worthwhile reading out to New Zealand what they said. Everyone else, ACT, Māori Party, National Party, Green Party, bless them, put in 4 pages of thoughtful consideration. The New Zealand Labor Party. Labor members are concerned, not about housing. Labor members are concerned that the time allocated for the estimates hearing did not allow us enough time to adequately scrutinise the appropriation. That's the depth of thought. So what I decided to do was to read the transcript of the interview they gave me over half an hour. And I can tell you that I spoke for 3 pages as an introduction, and then there were 6 pages of questions where I got drilled, basically. 6 pages of questions. Of those questions, 28 of them came from the Labor Party member Moana Maki, and the National Party got to apparently model-coddle me 3 times. 3 times. So I can say that the question time during the estimates was intense, that I was held to account as I should be, and the Labor Party had plenty of time to scrutinise the books. Unfortunately, all they can do is criticise, put down and produce no policy of their own. And one of the disappointing things for me as Housing Minister, when I came in as Housing Minister, celebrating the fact that the Labor Party as government had increased the number of state houses, which I thought was a good thing, I discovered that the money they had used to increase state houses had been taken from the depreciation fund, which had been several $100 million over a 9-year period, and they had used the money that was supposed to repair existing houses to purchase new ones. So the current tenants are now living in houses in a serious state of disrepair, not insulated, no heating, falling to pieces, while they're out on the streets bragging that they've bought new houses. And as a national government, John Key said enough. He said, we will add to the state housing stock, and in fact in the last 2 years, as I reported to committee, we've added about 840 extra state houses. That's net state houses. We've added about 840 over the last 2 years, not as many as Labor, but at the same time we've upgraded just under 20,000 state houses, and the minimum 20,000, and the minimum we've done to them, and we've done a lot more than this in most cases, the minimum we've done is insulate the floor, insulate the ceiling, and in many cases put in clean heating. So we've looked after the current tenants, we've got new state houses for more tenants, we've thought of everyone, and it's not easy. It's not easy to balance that. Another thing we discovered is that we've got several thousand across New Zealand 3-bedroom houses which we don't need. The Labor Party refused to sell those and buy 1-bedroom houses because there's a lot of people living alone, and refused to buy 5-bedroom houses because there's a lot of large Pacifica or Maori families in particular that need large houses. So we're sitting there now with a housing stock full of 3-bedroom houses. We're going to sell them, and we're going to buy 1-bedroom houses, and we're going to acquire 5-bedroom houses because it's only sensible. And we're also going to make sure that houses are provided in areas of high need, not just in electorates where Labor wants to get voted in, not just in electorates where Labor wants state house tenants to vote for them. We're actually going to get state houses where they are needed for families most in need, the size of the house right, and they're going to be in a decent condition so that state housing tenants are not living in squalor.
Question is that vote housing stand part of the schedules. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary no, the ayes have it. The question now is that vote women's